Welcome back to Canada Immigration Daily. Today, we're discussing one of the most significant shifts in Canada's immigration policy in recent years. The Trudeau government has announced drastic changes aimed at reducing the influx of both permanent and temporary residents, and these changes are expected to have far-reaching implications on international students, temporary foreign workers, and Canada's broader economic landscape. Before we get started, if you enjoy staying updated on immigration news, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we post new content. The need for change. Understanding the context. Canada has always been known as a welcoming destination for immigrants. In the past 2 years, however, the country has experienced a population surge that rivals the post-war baby boom era. This explosive growth has been largely driven by immigration, which has pushed Canada's population past 41 million, a record high. While this influx has helped stimulate the economy and address labor shortages, it has also created significant challenges, particularly in the housing sector. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government is now taking action to recalibrate its immigration policies to better align with current economic and social conditions. This decision comes in response to growing public concerns about housing affordability, infrastructure strain, and the exploitation of temporary immigration pathways by bad actors. What's behind the policy shift? Historically, Canada's annual immigration targets have focused almost exclusively on permanent residents. Temporary residents, such as international students and temporary foreign workers, were admitted based on the needs of the job market and educational sector. However, the post-pandemic recovery created an urgent demand for labor, which led to a rapid increase in temporary visas. This policy of open doors for temporary workers and students has now backfired, contributing to increased pressure on housing and public services. Minister of Immigration Mark Miller recently stated that the government's current approach is unsustainable in its current form. The surge in temporary residents has led to overcrowded rental markets, rising living costs, and exploitation by some employers and educational institutions. Key changes to immigration policy. So, what are the changes? Here's a breakdown of the key reforms announced. Reduction in study permits. Canada will decrease the number of study permits issued to international students by 35% over the next 2 years. In 2023, over 509,000 study permits were issued, but this number will be reduced to approximately 437,000 by 2025. This reduction is aimed at addressing the housing crisis, especially in major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, where students have been competing with locals for limited rental units. The hope is that fewer international students will lead to less pressure on the rental market, ultimately bringing down sky-high rents. Tighter regulations on temporary foreign workers. The Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP, will now focus more on critical sectors such as healthcare, construction, and agriculture. This means that low-skill positions in industries like retail and food service will see a significant reduction in foreign labor. Employers will face stricter labor market impact assessments, LMIs, to prove they truly need to hire foreign workers and aren't bypassing local Canadian talent. Spousal work permits. The new policy also introduces restrictions on work permits for spouses of international students and temporary workers. These permits will only be granted if the primary applicant is involved in high-demand sectors or long-term study programs. This change aims to curb abuse of the system, where some individuals have used spousal permits as a loophole to enter the Canadian job market. Fraud prevention and integrity measures. To tackle the growing issue of fraudulent visa applications, the government will tighten checks on international students, especially those applying to lesser-known private colleges. This move targets what has been described as diploma mills, institutions that exploit international students by charging exorbitant fees while providing subpar education and limited job prospects. Why now? Public pressure and political realities. Canada's decision to cut back on immigration comes amid growing discontent among Canadians. Public opinion has shifted, with many citizens expressing concerns over how the rapid population growth has strained housing, healthcare, and other essential services. With a federal election on the horizon in 2025, the Trudeau government is under pressure to respond to these concerns. Canada's provinces have also weighed in on the decision. While business leaders and industry groups, especially in Ontario and Alberta, have pushed for higher immigration levels to fill job vacancies, the housing crisis has forced the federal government to rethink its approach. Economic and social impacts. While these changes may ease the pressure on housing and infrastructure, they also come with trade-offs. Impact on education and businesses. Educational institutions that rely heavily on tuition from international students may see a decline in revenue. This could lead to cutbacks in university programs and staffing. Labor market effects. Industries like agriculture, construction, and healthcare will still have access to foreign labor, but other sectors may face challenges filling low-wage positions. This could slow growth in sectors reliant on temporary foreign workers. Reduced rental demand. By limiting the number of international students, the government hopes to stabilize rental prices in major urban centers. Early indicators suggest that the cap on student visas is already leading to a slight decrease in rental costs. Long-term vision for Canada's immigration policy. The Trudeau government's long-term plan is to stabilize population growth until 2027 and then resume a gradual increase in immigration levels. The focus will shift to attracting skilled permanent residents who can contribute to key industries like technology, healthcare, and infrastructure development. From 2027 onwards, Canada aims to restore its position as a welcoming destination for immigrants, while ensuring that newcomers have access to affordable housing, quality education, and healthcare. The government also plans to invest heavily in building millions of new homes to accommodate future population growth. Final thoughts. Canada's new immigration policy represents a significant shift in how the country manages its population growth. While these changes are expected to relieve some of the pressure on housing and public services, they will also bring challenges, especially for sectors that rely on temporary labor and international tuition. What do you think of these changes? Will they help Canada achieve a sustainable balance, or will they create more challenges down the line? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to Canada Immigration Daily. We'll continue to bring you the latest updates on immigration policies, so stay tuned.